So Arne Slot gets off to a winning start in his first proper friendly as Liverpool manager, and after endless back and forth about what possible changes there might be from Klopp to Slot, how the formation might change, how the team's going to set up, well, we have a few more answers. Things get a little bit clearer, but not 100%. If you watch the match tonight, you'll know why. One thing we definitely know is there's definitely two men. There's definitely at the base of the midfield. There's definitely a double pivot tonight. It was Endo and Jones with Szoboszlai at the kind of tip of that triangle. It looked a little bit odd in terms of forward play, centre forwards, but I'd expect that to change because he didn't have any senior centre forwards available to him today. So what we got was a bit of a guess who on social media as to what formation we were actually playing. Was Harvey Elliott a false nine? Were we playing with two false nines and Szoboszlai and Elliott? A little bit of both, I think, really. I think Harvey Elliott was the closest thing we had to a centre forward at times. He actually played as a centre forward once or twice when he was on loan at Blackburn, so it's not something that's completely unusual for him. Obviously, he's not totally suited to that role. I don't really think. At times, when we had possession, it was resembling a bit more of a 4-4-2, but obviously with no real natural centre forward. The two centre forwards were often deeper than the two wide players, Carvalho out left and Salah on right. So it was a little bit unusual, but I think as the pre-season gets on and Arne Slot maybe has some more players available to him, maybe in that final pre-season game at Anfield, then we'll get a bit more of an idea about how his team is going to play. And I do think it'll probably evolve as we get through the season. I don't think he's really going to see much of some of these players until right before the season starts, and then maybe there might be one or two new signings too, hopefully. So tonight gave us a bit of a better idea, but it's still shrouded in mystery somewhat. In terms of the fullbacks, maybe Costa Tsimikas was playing a little bit more reserved. Conor Bradley on the right possibly had a bit more freedom, a bit more license to get forward. Maybe that might change fullback to fullback, but it does seem like we're not seeing so much of two fullbacks bombing on. In prime Klopp, obviously at times there we had the two fullbacks furthest forward than any other player on the pitch. We'll see how that progresses. Centre backs, not much to say there except that they both looked just like senior pros, two young lads. Quansah, obviously, we know how good he is. He just looked great last season. It looks like he's continuing that. He barely broke a sweat. Sepp van den Berg looked really impressive too, I thought. What his future is going to be, who knows? I don't know whether he's going to be a Liverpool player come the start of the season or not, but we'll see. But he looked pretty good tonight. In terms of how the team were playing, I think as the game got on, it kind of, the legs got a bit heavier. The pitch was difficult, but from that initial 25 minutes or so, it did look quite different. There's lots of triangles, a bit more intricate passing, less kind of emphasis on getting the ball forward quickly, a bit more patience in the build-up, as Curtis Jones alluded to in his press conference yesterday. So that looked a bit different. As the game progressed, that kind of changed and fell apart a little bit. But you can see that there's seeds there in a different way, slightly different philosophy in playing. The Szoboszlai goal, 33 minutes it was there. Trey Nyoni had a hand in it. He came on, obviously, for Curtis Jones, who picked up some kind of injury. Nyoni looked good, lively, lots of energy there. And there was a real pick-up in energy when he came on. I think he's only 17, so he should have a lot of energy. He laid the ball off to Salah, or he laid the ball off to Szoboszlai, gave it to Salah, kind of demanded the ball back, went to the box, great finish. What I really liked about the goal was the kind of half turn, taking the ball, a little bit more dynamic than what we're used to seeing with Szoboszlai. I think we're going to have to see a little bit more of that from him. Moving into the half space, being a bit more creative. That was really good from Szoboszlai. Again, great finish. Over on the left, Fabio Carvalho Didn't see him on the ball. He didn't really get much of the ball, so it's hard to judge him too much. What I did notice is that he was looking to break. He was playing on the shoulder of his opposition right back, and he was looking to move forward. Whenever Liverpool had the ball there, he was actively looking to try and make those runs. He kept having to, check his run, come back onside, and he didn't really see those through balls and switches. They weren't really on for him, but he was trying, which was interesting because I never really see him as a player with that burst of pace. So whether that's something he's been working on, we'll see. That was interesting, I thought. Tyler Morton came on at half time for Endo. Endo struggled a little bit, but let's see how that goes. I'll be surprised if we don't get another 6 in, but it will in this formation. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because I think McAllister is kind of born really to take one of these places. Maybe we'll need someone a bit more dynamic, that space eater, if you will, to fill up that other 6 spots. We'll see. And then, the game kind of like petered out a little bit in the second half. There was 6 changes around the 60 minutes, and Liverpool just kind of got through it there. It was good to see Kate Gordon back on the pitch. He always looks lively. I think there's a player there. Also good to see Ben Doak. He looked really tricky when he came on. Again, on the right, playing in that Mo Salah role. It's a bit unusual because he's a right footer, and of course we often play, or pretty much exclusively play, with inverted wingers. So it's unusual to see a right footer on the right wing. But he's tricky enough that maybe he doesn't really have to cut inside. He can beat players on the outside, and you don't really see that too much in the modern game, really. So that was quite refreshing. And all in all, I think Liverpool were good for a 1-0 win. It's always good to get a win. They look sharp in moments, look sluggish in moments, as you'd expect. But the next game, I think it's in the early hours of next Thursday morning against Arsenal, Wednesday evening if you're in the US. I think we get a bit better idea of how the team is progressing at that point. I think he will start strongly again like he did today, and then look to introduce the younger players as the game goes on. I think Jota, Gravenberg and Kanate are joining, or have joined the team possibly already, so hopefully they'll be in contention for a game against Arsenal. Robertson's out there, but he's not going to be playing in any of the fixtures, I don't think. Alisson is not joining them on the tour, so it's a good opportunity for Keller to really make stake a claim. Not that I think he's going to be ousting Alisson at any time soon, but I think it's put himself not in the shop window, but put himself in front of the manager is always a good thing, and I think he's a good enough keeper to just push at Alisson really. Not that Alisson is. Not that his standards are dropping, but I think the fact that he knows he's got a really capable and able backup goalkeeper who wants to take his spot, I think that will keep Alisson's level as high. So that's really, so I am going to sign off now and go to bed. The Reds 2.1, I believe, is underway, so up the Reds. There we go.